Hey guys, today we're drawing an Airstream trailer with a marker and then we're going to paint it with watercolor. An Airstream is an RV, except it has really unique features. It kind of resembles a train carriage in a way. It's made of aluminum, it has rounded corner windows, even the door is placed near the back of the trailer. The design looks awesome, whether you are traveling the country or you are taking it out for a weekend camping trip. So let's get our supplies together and put this to paper. We'll need white watercolor paper, a set of watercolors. You can use liquid watercolors or you can use the pans like I have here. If you're choosing the pans, then make sure you also have 2 jars of clean water along with a paintbrush. I have a size 2 here with a rounded tip, and then you'll need a paper towel and lastly, an ultra-fine tip black marker. We're going to use this marker to draw the Airstream. We'll start with the outline, the outsides, and then we'll go in, add in the accessories and the extra pieces. And then finally, we'll go in with all the watercolor and put in some nice finishes to our piece. To begin, turn your paper horizontal like I have here. And then we're going to begin at the bottom. So come up off the bottom of your page just a little bit and in from the side, and then draw a straight line, pick up your marker, and then finish that straight line going towards the other side of your paper, leaving a little bit of space on both sides. Then at the start of your first line, come up with a straight line and curve it around, and then finish that with a straight line over the top. And then we're going to curve it back down, meeting this bottom line. So there's the outline of our Airstream. Now let's do the tire. So this part in here, this is where our one tire is going to go. So where you have this open piece, bring a straight line up on one side, a straight line up on the other side, and then connect those 2 lines with a curve. And beneath that curve is the tire. So we're going to put in a circle. And then inside that circle, make a smaller circle. And inside that circle, make it looks like a C or a half a circle on one side. And then behind this tire, we're going to draw a straight line. So beginning on this piece right here, draw a horizontal line meeting your tire, pick up your marker to jump over the tire, and then finish that horizontal line until you get to the other side. And now on for the door. So in the Airstream, the door is usually towards the back of the trailer. And remember, on the Airstream, all the corners are rounded. So whether it's a window or a door corner, it's going to be rounded. So we're going to start the bottom of our door on this bottom line. So bring a straight line coming up pretty high. And then this is typically where you would see a straight line go across, but because it's the Airstream, we're going to curve our corner and then finish the top of our door going across, and then we're going to curve that corner and come back down to the bottom line. And then inside our door, we've got a window. So about halfway down, right in the middle of this new shape for the door, draw a horizontal line in the inside, leaving some space on both sides. And then we're going to follow this outline of the door just a little bit smaller for our window. So our window corner on the top is even going to be rounded. And then inside our window, let's put a curtain. So at the top line, right in the middle, place your marker and then draw a curved line coming down towards one corner. And then up in the middle on the other side, make a curved line coming down towards the bottom corner on the other side. And below that, we're going to put a handle so we can get in our Airstream. So this will just be a small rectangle right below the window. And you can make your rectangle horizontal or you can even make it vertical. And then once you've got your door finished, we're going to draw a horizontal line across the Airstream, jumping over the door. It's going to separate the top part from the bottom part. So at this far line, right near the edge of your paper, draw a horizontal line right to your door, jump over your door, and then finish that horizontal line all the way across your Airstream till you get to that front line. Now we're on to the windows. So we're going to do 3 windows. We're going to have a window up here, but we're only going to see a portion of it, and then we'll do 2 more over here. So on this first window, starting at this line up here where the curve is, come in a little bit, and then remember, our corner is curved, come down, and then curve back towards the front. So there's one window. And then let's make a trim. So inside that window, just draw the same shape following the first outline of the window. So that one's done. Let's do two more, but this time we're gonna make them full windows. So make a little bit of space, and then we're gonna begin to draw another window, rounding our corners. So it almost looks like a square, except we've got these rounded corners. And then just like we did the trim on the first one, on the second one, go in on the inside of the window, following your outline, rounding those corners up and around. And let's do the exact same window in this space, remembering to round your corners. All right, now that we've got our windows and our doors in, we're gonna add in some extra accessories, extra details on the inside of the trailer. So we're just gonna kind of make some random lines that help give it some definition in here. So right next to your front window, up at the top, draw a curved line coming down just a bit. And then again on the back side, about right in front of the door, on this top line, draw another curved line coming down. And then in between those curved lines, right below the top line, draw a horizontal line going all the way across. And then on your window curtains, let's add in some curved lines on both sides. And then down in here, we're gonna add in some shapes. So right next to the door, we're gonna add a small rectangle, but remember, this shape has curved corners. And then on the inside of that, we're just gonna draw a short line coming down. And then in this area over here, we're gonna do another shape. We're gonna come up straight from the bottom, round our corner, round the corner again, coming back down to the bottom. And on the inside of this shape, let's do 4 straight lines. And then on this back side, let's just put one short straight line coming down on the back corner. And then onto our blinkers, so our turn signals. Right above this top window, draw an oval-like shape above, and then another oval-like shape below that horizontal line. And then blinkers on the back. Right off the top curve of your Airstream in the back, put kind of a half oval shape sticking out. And then another blinker, another oval shape right next to the door toward the back. And then just like we have turn signals, we need brake lights in the back. So on the back side of your Airstream, you're just gonna come out a little bit with a straight line, down, and then back in. And then one last piece on the inside of this Airstream, down below, right above this bottom line, we're gonna come up and draw a horizontal line to the door, pick up your marker, finish that horizontal line until you run into the tire portion, jump over the tire portion, and continue that horizontal line until you run into this shape, hop over the shape, and continue your horizontal line until you meet the front of your Airstream. So now that we've got the inside done, let's do a little bit on the outside. So we need a connection piece over here that we could hook to a truck so that the Airstream could be pulled. So we're gonna draw what kind of resembles a sideways V. So beginning at the line of your Airstream, come out to a point and then come back in. And then inside that triangle shape, just draw a smaller triangle shape right in there. And now up top, sometimes we're carrying extra luggage up there, and there's also an antenna. So toward the front, we're gonna draw an antenna that goes straight up and straight down, pretty thin. Then make a short curved line right behind the antenna. And then behind this curved line, we're going to draw what some people put on top of their cars or their Airstream. Some people call it an egg. So draw a diagonal line headed toward the back of the Airstream, and then a horizontal line going towards the back, and then curve that back down to meet the top of the Airstream. And then inside there, we're gonna put a horizontal line across the bottom, and then 4 curved lines coming off that top line. And then on the bottom part, to represent the street lines or where this Airstream is parked, we're gonna draw just a couple lines near the tire. So beginning near the back side of the tire, draw a straight line meeting the tire line, pick up your marker, and then on the other side of the tire, continue that line a little way, and then below that line, add another line. It can be a longer line, it can be a shorter line, and you can even put in a third line if you'd like. And then below those straight lines, we're just gonna add in some grass area. So the grass pieces, they're just curved lines. So we come up with a curve, come down with a curve, come back up with a curve, and back down again. And these can be thin, you can make them thicker, you can make them tall, you can make them short, but just continue with some of these straight lines and curved lines a little bit across the page. And then there is your Airstream drawing. So if you're finished at this point, you can sign your name and call it a day. But if you'd like to go on with me and add in some color, let's close up our marker and switch to our paintbrush. So the brush that you have should have a tip that's small enough to be able to fit in some of these small pieces on your paper. You also want those 2 jars of water I mentioned earlier. We'll use 1 jar to clean our brush. So this jar is going to turn a little dark. It'll probably become a murky color. And then we'll use this second jar as a second rinse for our brush to help keep our brush clean. And then this water will also be clean so we can add it to the pans to help pick up the paint over there. And then this towel over here is to dry your brush if you need to. Now, as we begin to paint the Airstream with watercolor, we definitely do not need a ton of water on this paper. Our shapes are fairly small, and so we want to try to keep 1 color in each shape. So we're gonna work in steps. We're gonna move around the Airstream, letting 1 part dry before we work on the part next to it. So now, just as this Airstream is unique and it looks really neat driving down the road, I want you to choose unique colors for your Airstream. An Airstream is made of aluminum, so when you look at it, it looks silver or mirrored almost. You don't have to go completely gray on this. You can be vibrant with your colors and choose whatever you like. That's the fun part about art. So to begin with our color, we're gonna start on the insides of the windows. The trim of the windows will be a different color, so choose a color for the inside of your window along with this triangle piece up here. Those will all be the same color. So choose what color you want. Dip your brush into one of the jars of water. I like to swirl mine in kind of like a figure 8, and then pick up some of that water with your brush and put it into the color choice that you want on your pan. You might have to dip it into the water a few times to get enough water onto your pan so you can pick up that paint. Once you have enough water in your pan, go ahead and move your bristles around gently into the water and the color, and then you should have some color on your brush. And I like to begin near the outline and then just move the paint, move that water around into that shape, filling it. Now, the more water you have, the more transparent the color is going to be, the lighter it's going to be. So go ahead and fill in each window area. This window, this window, this window, and this small portion behind the curtain. Do all that the same color along with this triangle piece. To have the triangle piece and all the inside windows filled in, then we're going to clean our brush. So in one of your jars, just swish your bristles around into a figure 8, tap the excess water off, and then now into your clean jar, give it a second rinse so we can really clean those bristles. All right, the next section we're gonna do is the door and then these 3 top accessories. So figure out what color you wanna make those, and then after you're done doing the second rinse on your brush, pick up some of that water and then add it to that pan color. Then pick up that paint color with your brush and then add it into your door. Now you want to be sure to skip over the curtains, skip the handle, go around the handle, and then go ahead and do these 3 pieces up top, all with the same color. Once you have your door and the top accessories done, let's clean that color off our brush. So in the water that's beginning to change color, just swish your brush around, tap off the excess water, and then do a second rinse in the clean water. And then we're gonna move to the tire. So add water to the color that you like for the outside circle of this tire. And then go ahead and fill that area completely with your new color, leaving the middle circle open and white. Once your tire is filled in, again, clean your brush in the water that's beginning to change color, tap it off, and then rinse it in the clean water. And now we're going to move on to the curtains of our window. So choose a color that's preferably a little different than the color of your door and the color of your actual window. And then add color to that watercolor. Swish the water in your color choice and then add that water to your window curtains. Now we're moving on to the biggest area of color in our Airstream. We need to clean our brush once again, dip it around in the dirty water, tap it off, and then get your clean rinse in the clear water. And then I need you to choose a color for this space and all of this space on the bottom of the Airstream. But when we paint, we're gonna skip over the blinkers, we're gonna paint around these 2 shapes, and we're gonna stay above this bottom line because we're gonna come back in with different colors for those pieces. So choose a color for this big open space, and then you can begin to outline it and fill all that area in with your new color. Now that you finish the bottom color, we're actually going to use that same color and outline the trim of these 3 windows. So you can just clean your brush a little bit to get more clean water into your paint pan for your color. And then same idea, go right around the trim of each window using that color that you have for the bottom. Once you've filled your trim with color, we're going to move on to these spaces that are down here on the bottom. So this shape, and then this line along with the piece behind the tire and all the way across. So clean your brush in the dirty water, tap it off, and then do a second rinse in your clean water. And then add water to the color that you want to add for the bottom pieces along with the inside pieces on the bottom. And then for your door handle, you can choose the same color that you just used for these pieces over here, or you can do a different color. I'm going to choose the same dark green and fill in that door handle. And then once you've got all those colors in, we're going to move to the blinkers. So those are those oval shapes. So clean your brush really well, rinse it one more time, and we're going to choose orange for those colors. So get some water, dip it into your orange, and then because those blinker spaces are so small, you really only need just a little bit of paint, just really on the tip of your brush, and then right with the tip, line up that oval shape, and do that on all 4 pieces of your Airstream. And then once you have your blinkers, now for the brake light. So the brake light's going to be red. So again, clean your brush with those 2 rinses, add some water to your red color. And then again, that brake light is small, so you just need a little bit of paint on the tip of your brush, outline that shape, and then fill it in. And then we've got one last piece, this grass area down here. So grass is typically green, so let's clean our brush, rinse it, and then add some clean water to your green watercolor. Place some of that green paint on the tip of your brush, and then right at the bottom, you can move your paint up towards the tip using the top point of your brush to get into that small space, and then just move the paint over, kind of move the water over to that next grass shape, and then fill in each shape, leaving kind of a jagged edge at the bottom. And then do that for each shape all the way across your grass. And then at this point, we have all of our color in. But the neat thing about watercolor is that you can begin to layer your colors. So if there's any other color you want to add over top of the piece that's already down, go for it. I suggest that you can also add pattern to your window curtain. So if you'd like to do that, whether it's polka dots or stripes, I'm going to add in some pink polka dots right on top of my yellow. And we can do that because most likely your curtain color has dried at this point. If it's not dry, hold off, because otherwise that pink paint is just going to bleed right in, and then they'll mix together, which sometimes that looks great for certain techniques, but for this I wanted dots, so I needed my first layer to be dry. And then once you've added in any other color that you'd like, if you feel like you need to, you can always go over any of these black lines with your marker, especially if the paint has covered up a little bit of it. But the thing is, you need to make sure that your paint is fully dry before you go back in with the marker. So for my curtain, I've kind of gone over that with yellow, so I'm going to go back over it with my black marker just to give it a smooth outline. So I'll do that in a couple places on my drawing. That's it. There's our Airstream trailer drawn with marker and colored using watercolors. So be sure to sign your name in the corner if you haven't done that already. I hope you enjoyed today's drawing and learned how easy it can be to complete a drawing using straight lines and a lot of curved lines. Until next time, keep creating.